I love putting. I bet you do too. And I love to think about it a little bit more deeply than just graze the surface. So when I get to talk to teachers, I love to kind of bring a little bit more sophistication to it. And I want to challenge you today and see if you can diagnose this stroke flaw, because I've got some ideas for you. You ready? Take a close look at this stroke and see if you can figure out, well, for one thing, why I'm pulling this putt. You ready? I always make putts, can't help it. If you watch that, what you saw was that my left shoulder stayed put. Now my friend Hank Johnson calls that, and I love this term, pivot stall, meaning that my shoulders ought to rock like this, whether I'm vertical with a square to square or whether I'm on plane like this. They can't go like stop and then I kind of it's all screwed up. If you're watching one of your students and they hit that little pull all the time, pay attention to this left shoulder. And let me give you a couple of things that I've learned by putting right here on this in our studio about how to do that. The first thing is the ball of steel, which you're familiar with, but if you recognize this, it absolutely will not allow me to stall. I have to create a sense of momentum through the stroke, and that left shoulder will continue. My right hand can't kind of finish it out. I'll kind of mishit it and it just won't have anything. So the ball of steel will really help with that if you got a student that's kind of sticking it. The other one is the pendulum putting rod. Now you're familiar with this, we've had it for a while, but I want to give you a new application. And the idea is that I put it in my left shoulder. It's not about shaft lean anymore. And think about this, if I stall, I'm going to lose it. It's going to fall off. But if I've got it here, I have to finish. I have to let that go because that'll happen if I stall it. So think about this pivot stall. Think about the idea of finishing the stroke. The pendulum putting rod will really keep you in place, and the ball of steel will force you to develop some momentum. I love putting. These are really fun things that I think you can pass on to your students. It'll help them putt better. It'll make you sound like a genius.